SuperZOMGBBQ! Yeah, keep that whole thing in there. Yeah, you're watching an intro, baby. Yeah, what?
Hey Savers, this is SuperZOMGBBQ. Today, I'm in a good mood. A couple of days off, we get ourselves a little bit of a refresh in ourselves. There's been a couple of new packs coming to the store, a couple of discounts. In fact, I did a massive discount for St. Patrick's Day / spring stuff. We got this Road to Glory, which is a little bit underwhelming, but it does get us Kurt Angle's cards starting this evening, of which I will be streaming on Twitch. And if you don't follow me on Twitch, all you gotta do is jump into the description and comments. You can follow me on there. There's been a couple of things I've noticed which have really reinforced the theory I have that actually we might be seeing the first ever double teardrop in WWE SuperCard. So instead of it just being one tier, there could be two tiers coming along. And here's a little bit of evidence as to why in this video. Plus, got some Team Battleground awards, all that good stuff, if you like what you're seeing in this video. And in fact, if you want a double teardrop, and you'll see the reasons why I think that's going to happen, smack that like button as hard as you possibly can. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on anything, and turn your notifications on whilst you're there, because I'm slapping my hands for no reason. I don't know, I'm just pumped at the moment. I'm pumped! I hope the heroic cards in this Road to Glory are way better than the current undercards. Although I'm never going to say no to a fusion and a free spring card, one of which I don't think I've got. The latter cards are a little bit underwhelming. They're in the lower scale, but they've got to use those cards somehow. This is probably the last solo event, so these are the last undercards they're actually going to put out for the tier. I would be very surprised if someone big wasn't the undercard for the heroic. But this is one of the reasons why this theory has come to light. And we're going to talk about the Road to WrestleMania, March Madness, whatever you want to call it. SuperCard launched it at the beginning of March and it's run through all till now. Yes, I did get my 2,000 banner points gift yesterday. For those thinking about it, I didn't forget it, I did get it, I just wasn't making a video at the time. Now, there's been a lot of event cards put into the game. In fact, if I show you my King of the Ring deck, for example, I have pretty much replaced every single normal event card up until this point. Once I get Kurt Angle, I'll be able to replace even the likes of Dean Ambrose and Rusev just by playing the events we've played recently. And if they add another male event next week for Last Man Standing, that's a lot of male event cards. And like I say all the time, there is no smoke without fire when it comes to WWE SuperCard. There's always a reason, and actually I think the first sign of this, if it happened, was actually back with the WrestleMania Favorites pack, which had lots of individual different logos on them. Now, this tier, Shattered tier, has been running since the very beginning of Season 5. Usually we don't wait this long, but maybe there is a reason it's waited this long. And I think it ties into what's going on with all the Flash events. Now, there's two reasons, actually no, there's three reasons why they have done what they've done with the March Madness stuff. Number one is to keep people interested, because it has been a long time since the beginning of March, and considering they usually release it halfway through towards the end of March, and waiting until WrestleMania this year, they might have been worried that people's interest might have dropped. But then that doesn't make sense as to why they put the double neon packs so early in the store, plus offering neon females and plenty of female events, including the fusions, which it is seeming that a lot of the lower tier players are getting quite good cards from these fusion events. Number two is that there is a lack of players, which I don't believe there is, in Neon and Shattered tiers. So this is designed to push them up, so they would then be competing for WrestleMania 35, be buying packs, those kind of things, really to push the involvement, push the activity in Shattered and WrestleMania 35 tier going forward. Or number 3, and I think this ties into a lot of dates and a lot of things I've just said, they're releasing 2 tiers at once. And I've got an idea of what kind of things they'll be doing, because if they're going to release 2 tiers at WrestleMania, surely you'd think they're going to release 2 WrestleMania tiers. Now I'm going to park that to one side, and we're going to talk about dates. Biggest one is that they have changed the pay-per-view schedule for WWE completely. I'm not going to go into too much detail. Google it if you want to see it all. Money in the Bank has been brought forward a month, and I think its Backlash has been pushed further away. Between WrestleMania, which is when we're going to get the new tiers or whatever is coming, there is only I believe a 4-month period between this new tier potentially releasing and SummerSlam this year, which means unless they're releasing a 2-month tier at each stage, which means the whole thing would just be a cluster. I'm not gonna say the second thing of releases, fusions, Hall of Fames, throwbacks. It would just be mental. I mean, they managed to get it in within 2.5 to 3 months of WrestleMania 34 tier. Just imagine what they'd have to do for this tier and then another tier at Backlash time if they decide to do that. Now, one would have thought that they would have learned their lesson from WrestleMania 33 tier, where they released a tier that lasted nearly 5.5 months, and oh my god, by the end of it, people were just desperate for something new. How would they fill that time, considering we've had 4 months plus now going into WrestleMania to be nearly 4.5, 5 months going into WrestleMania? Well, release 2 tiers at once. That means that people are going to have to build themselves up into a WrestleMania tier and then build up into a further WrestleMania tier, which would make a lot of sense. Given how much they're pushing events, how many fusion events and how many special events they've had from the beginning of the game, how easy it's been to push yourself up if you've been playing the event, how many different event cards I've been getting. Now I'm going to put of my own personal touch into this. First of all, I need to check out the Team Battleground team we're playing. KO Show. Let's go and look for them. Oh, they're on the on team. Okay, so we need to charge. Anyone is Shattered? Yes, Jolamite, Biggie B are both in Shattered tier, so we probably need to charge for this, and I'll have to tweet a couple of the team members just to let them know they need to put some effort into this one, because sometimes you don't need to, people just don't charge. I would suggest that they would put in a WrestleMania 35 tier, and if they were going to go for this second tier, they could put in a WrestleMania Legacy. Now, just to confirm, if they were to put a WrestleMania Legacy tier in, and that is take specific WrestleManias from number 1 all the way up to number 34, and take certain superstars. So you've got the likes of Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn from WrestleMania 32 in their ladder match. You've got the females, the current tier females. You've got some of the old school females like Trish Stratus, Mickie James, and just include some of their... So it's almost like a constant Hall of Fame throwback to the old and the current day WrestleManias. You don't even have to include new images. You just have to include the WrestleMania that they had their biggest moment or a big moment in. For example, The Undertaker at WrestleMania, I don't know, let's go for WrestleMania 17, where he faced Triple H. You have Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 30, Daniel Bryan. There's so many different options, and then the one that's on the front now, The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin from WrestleMania 17. There are just so many possibilities, and if they are going to do that with how much they've pushed these event cards, and there's more event cards than there has ever been between the beginning and the end of this tier, not to mention how many heroic events there are, not to mention how many last man standings, over the limits we've had. So they have to release a Goliath tier in between, which would really confuse things, and the life of the tier would extend itself for a little bit longer. On top of that, they could release Money in the Bank WrestleMania 35 tier cards. The timing of a WrestleMania 35 tier, which would then coincide immediately with Money in the Bank releases, which is the timing, which is 1 week after WrestleMania, especially given what they did at the beginning of Season 5 with the Neon NXT TakeOver stuff, there is every possibility, and I mean every possibility, that could be their plan, to release multiple tiers, which pretty sweet. I'd actually like to see some custom cards built of that, because I just got the feeling, look at, you got like the old school images you could use, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, you could even do WrestleMania 19. The thing is as well, you got the event cards. You could use moments from WrestleMania 35. You could literally have a whole tier dedicated to WrestleMania moments. It's just a whole plethora of ideas that could come out of this, and whatever they do, it definitely seems that something bigger than just a new tier is coming. It may just be a new tier with a new event, or with a new gameplay mode or something, but at the moment it's all speculation because we've heard nothing, and actually I'm really surprised. Usually we'd have heard something by now. Maybe we'll find out more after the Kurt Angle event has ended. Maybe they'll release a male instead of a last woman standing like everyone thinks it's going to be, and that'll give us a week to kind of prepare for the next tier. Or maybe they're just going to drop it on us and go, hey, you've got to play really hard for this next card, and you're going to be completely drained and completely burnt out. Champion Rewards, are going to grab some Platinum Rewards. They've still got the 2 times up until next week, if I'm not wrong, which I think is next Monday. Let's get it. Neon card, great. Adam Cole, baby. NXT #1 contender for the NXT, the dormant NXT title, but let's be honest, this is what we're after, the 4,500 battle points. And we're going to grab ourselves this login bonus. Now, the reason I'm getting this now is because of the seeds. However, this one will be open next week, 16 seeds. I think it's 12 in this. Am I wrong? Lots of seeds. Give me a neon card I've not had before. Come on. Give me a neon card I've not had before. Oh, it's coming at the end. Okay, so we're going to get the reveal at the end. Lots of seeds to do fusions. Sasha Banks. I think we've already got Sasha Banks pro'd. 150 credits, though I'm not going to complain. And that's it from me. I want to know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments section. What you believe is going to happen. Do you think they're just going to drop one tier? Do you think that I'm along the right lines? Or would you like to see a WrestleMania Legacy tier where they could have a WrestleMania 35 tier with all of the standard wrestlers, the current day wrestlers, and then drop a WrestleMania Legacy tier which would have a lot more of the legends, a lot more of the WrestleMania moments, guys like you see in normal tiers like Shawn Michaels, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, but also have modern day people, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose. You could have plenty of others, but you can include all the NXT guys down in a WrestleMania 35 tier, so they're getting the exposure, and all the bigger guys in a legacy tier of some kind. Again, let me know what your thoughts are. Comment section below. Like this video if you think this is going to happen, or you think this is something you'd like to see. Subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on. Until next time, I've been SuperZombGBBQ. You have been awesome. One last thing, and that is to